Former presidential candidate and author of Truths, The Future of America First, Vivek Ramaswamy, joins me now. This box is nuts. What the hell is going on here, do you think?
I mean, assassination attempts are strange enough in American history, but this becomes downright strange. Last time around, and it's sad this is becoming a trend, Jesse, by the way, we still don't have the information about the Secret Service failures for the last assassination attempt, but even by comparison to that one, this is downright bizarre. Why somebody else would receive a box multiple weeks in advance, not open it? Whose instructions say not to open it? Why do the contents of the letter actually say that the person who is supposedly attempting to carry this out planned to not actually see it followed through? None of it makes sense, but it's just another reminder. It's one of the themes that comes out in my book as well. We deserve a government that is just transparent with the people again in this country, not the partial transparency of the kind that you're seeing attempts at right now from the FBI, but just total transparency to the public. It may be ugly. Tell us what it is. That's how we're going to move this country forward. More free speech and open debate. That's how we revive our nation.
And I have the book here. I cracked it open over the weekend. Truths, The Future of America First. I highly endorse it. Truth 1, God is real. Truth 2, climate change is a hoax. Tell us about these truths.
Sure, and the second one's a great one to talk about. I say the climate change agenda is a hoax. One of my goals with this book is to arm everyday Americans, people who may agree with folks like you and me, to actually talk to their friends on the left at the dinner table. And I do say friends intentionally, Jesse, because I think we still do have friends on the other side, to bring them along. That's what's going to be required, not just to win this election, but to get our country back. On climate change, a hard fact is that 8 times as many people die of cold temperatures rather than warm ones. So the traditional wisdom is, yes, our global surface temperature is going up by a little bit. They are. That's a fact. But it's also a fact that more people are dying of colder temperatures than warm ones. And in the 1970s, the thing that scientists actually worried about was an ice age rather than the heating of the planet. So my goal is to take these most contentious of subjects, the ones you're not supposed to challenge the orthodoxy on, climate ideology, transgender ideology, but to go in with stone-cold hard facts that empower and arm everyday Americans with knowledge. That's what we need to be armed with, and the facts of winning the country back is through open debate with our friends on the other side.
So you're arming the American people with the facts.
Yeah.
And is this just for conservatives, or can other people read this? Will they accept that?
My hope is that most of the people who read this book aren't just the people who agree with us, but people on the other side, or people even who may be independent-minded, but curious for actually what alternative views are. One of the things I try to do in each of the chapters is we lay out the best possible arguments for the other side. I don't want to put up some straw man we can shoot down easily. What is the best possible argument for somebody who disagrees with the idea that there are 2 genders? What exactly would they say? Let's get that on the table, and let's talk about it in the open.
Very good book. Truths, The Future of America First. Thank you so much, Vivek.
Good seeing you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.